happiness? Let's explore together. First, happiness doesn't come from fixing the world around us, it comes from fixing the world within. If your inner state is determined by external circumstances, then life will always feel like an uphill battle. But if you can take charge of your inner world, happiness becomes your constant companion. Second, happiness isn't in the big moments, it hides in the small ones. It's in the warmth of the morning sun, the laughter of a child, the stillness of a quiet evening. We don't need extraordinary things, we just need extraordinary awareness. Finally, we must realize that life is a gift. It's not owed to us, it's granted to us. Every breath is a miracle, every moment an opportunity. If we can remember this, happiness will follow us like a shadow, unshakable and ever present. Now, let's look at the practical steps we can take to cultivate this happiness. Happiness is not something that comes to you from the outside, it is something that arises within you. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that external achievements, possessions, or relationships are the primary sources of happiness. While these things may bring temporary satisfaction, they cannot provide lasting fulfillment. Why? Because anything external is subject to change. A job can be lost, possessions can break, and people, no matter how dear to us, may come and go. When our sense of well-being is tied to external factors, we become like a leaf in the wind, constantly blown about by circumstances beyond our control. True happiness, however, is independent of what happens around us. It is a state of being that comes from mastering our inner world, our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. The human mind is an incredible tool, but it can also become our greatest obstacle if left unchecked. Imagine trying to live peacefully in a house where the radio is blaring conflicting channels all day. That's what happens when our minds are filled with endless chatter, worries, and distractions. To find happiness, we must learn to quiet this noise and take charge of our inner landscape. This doesn't mean shutting out the world or denying its challenges. It means creating an inner space that remains calm and joyful no matter what life throws at you. Think of it as a fire within, a source of warmth and light that no storm can extinguish. When this fire burns brightly, you can face life with resilience and clarity. Many of us fall into the trap of believing, I will be happy when I get a promotion, when I find the perfect partner, when I achieve my goals. But this way of thinking puts happiness perpetually out of reach, always dependent on the next milestone. Instead of waiting for happiness to arrive someday, why not cultivate it now? The key lies in recognizing that happiness is not a reward, it is a choice. It's not about ignoring your difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about responding to life's challenges from a place of inner strength and balance. You can choose how you experience each moment regardless of its ups and downs. By shifting your focus inward and becoming the source of your own joy, you free yourself from the roller coaster of external circumstances. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition or desires, it means approaching them with a sense of fullness rather than lack. When you are internally content, life becomes an adventure rather than a pursuit, and happiness becomes your natural state. In our pursuit of happiness, we often find ourselves caught in a cycle of chasing success, recognition, relationships, or material possessions. We believe that if we could just achieve the next goal or acquire the next thing, happiness will finally be ours. Yet, the moment we reach what we were chasing, the satisfaction is fleeting. A new desire emerges, and the cycle begins again, leaving us perpetually unfulfilled. This endless chasing stems from a fundamental misunderstanding, the belief that happiness is somewhere out there waiting to be discovered. But happiness is not a destination, it is a state of being. The more we run after it, the farther it seems to slip away, like a mirage in the desert. The reason is simple: happiness is not something to achieve or obtain, it is something to experience here and now. The act of chasing creates a sense of lack, a feeling that we are incomplete as we are. It keeps us in a state of longing, always looking to the future for fulfillment. This way of living robs us of the richness of the present moment. We become so focused on what we don't have that we fail to appreciate what we already do. The truth is, the more we strive for happiness externally, the more disconnected we become from the simple joy of being alive. Instead of chasing, we must learn to pause and be. To be means to exist fully in the present moment, to engage with life as it is rather than as we think it should be. It is about embracing the now without judgment, without resistance. When we stop running towards some imagined ideal, we discovered that happiness was never out of reach, it was always within us, waiting to be noticed. Being doesn't mean giving up on goals or dreams. It means approaching life with a sense of contentment and wholeness rather than seeking happiness as a prize to be won. It's about recognizing that joy is not tied to what you achieve, but to how you experience each step of the journey. When you stop chasing, you free yourself from the anxiety of needing life to conform to your expectations. You begin to see beauty in the ordinary, in the small moments that you might have overlooked while focused on the future. Happiness is not in doing more, having more, or becoming more. It is in being fully alive, fully present, and fully yourself. When you let go of the chase, you realize that what you were seeking was never outside of you. It was always here, waiting for you to notice it. By simply being, you allow happiness to unfold naturally, without effort, like a flower blooming in the sun. The mind is a powerful tool capable of shaping our experiences and influencing our reality. Yet, for many of us, it often feels like the mind has a life of its own.
This is what's most important, and it's not this car. It's this: peace, love, and cash.
Thoughts